Hello and welcome everybody, welcome to a new Curse Studio tutorial. And I wish you all a happy new year. Even thought it's already 21 days ago that we celebrate New Year, but anyway. This tutorial will be about, to be honest, I have no clue. I just thought I'd make a new tutorial, but I didn't really think about what we could do. I mean, I have a little bit of a plan, but not too much. This tutorial will definitely will be rendered with Octane, so we definitely will use the Octane render engine and not V-Ray or anything else. You probably have to get used to this stuff a little bit, because I'm doing a lot of stuff lately with Octane renderer, and I think it's also a really absolutely awesome render engine. Otherwise I wouldn't use it. So if you want to follow me along in the future, I would highly recommend that you get the Octane render plugin for Cinema 4D and also the standalone. Well, you need the standalone if you want to use the plugin. But anyway, so this tutorial will be basically about, I think, Octane. I will try to explain a little bit the basics of Octane, I think this will probably be the best, so you can follow me along a little bit better. And since my Ferrari tutorial, where I already used the Octane render engine, was, I think, pretty good and people seem to like it, I thought I record something new, but like I said, I didn't really have exact an idea what I want to do. I mean, I know I want to tell you something about the basics, but so yeah. So I think we should just get started. And by the way, I did quit smoking yesterday, and I did start smoking today. So this wasn't really a huge success, quitting smoking, but I will definitely try it tomorrow again, I guess. We will see if this works out. But anyway, okay. So first of all, if you have installed Octane, you get this little Octane button over here with the live viewer window and the settings and so on. To create this little button that I have here in my, let's call this quick bar, I think you need to go into Windows customization, layouts. No, not layouts. I'm lying. I'm definitely lying. I think customize comments is it. What is it called again? Live viewer window. Let's type in live viewer window. Yes, and then just simply you have to pull it there. And after you pulled it there, you also have to save this layout. I think you just have to go to save layout or save a start out layout. And then it will always pop up when you start up Cinema 4D. If you don't do that, if you just pull it in and then close Cinema 4D in maybe 1 hour or whatever, the plugin or this button will just be gone. So this wouldn't be really a huge success to do it this way. Okay, anyway, I think first of all I want to create a cube maybe. Cube is always good to start. We can just leave it 200 by 200 by 200. As usual, I'm working with centimeters as scale. Simply hit Ctrl D, change the project scale here to centimeters, and you will be working in centimeters as well. The next thing I want to do is I think I want to start up the Octane render engine, and I'm using, by the way, 1.1. The 1.1 version of Octane. I think this is pretty much the newest version available right now. I hope everything works well. Ahmed, our Octa, who is designing the plugin and developing the plugin, said this should not be used for any commercial work. Since I'm not doing any commercial work right now, I think we should be just fine using this version. But anyway. So I will just pull everything here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, next thing. Firing up the cigarette again because I'm talking too much. Okay, so let's create a new shader. Create shader, Cinema 4D Octane. As you can see here, you have the Cinema 4D Octane folder. Let's create an Octane material. This is the basic material that you probably will always start out with. Then let's just simply open it up. You have 3 different material types. You have diffuse, you have glossy, and then you have specular. And as you can see, specular is something like glass, diamonds, stuff like that. Glossy would be A lot of stuff. Probably a lot of stuff you use in your scene, like wood, like handrails, what do I know? Really a lot of stuff. So you probably will work a lot with glossy diffuse. You will probably use for all kind of gloss material and white walls and whatever is really diffuse and is not really picking up a lot of light and stuff like that. Okay, then I think I will just simply go with a glossy material here and pull this here on the cube and maybe change the color here to something like red so we can see everything a little bit better. And I will just hit this button so we start rendering. As you can see, this works pretty well. And I think I will also pull in an HDRI. If you want to create an HDRI, just simply go to Objects, HDRI Environment. This creates an Octane sky, and then you click on this little thing here, and then just simply click on Image Texture. And then you can see already here file name .hdr. So we will just load an HDRI, in this case Old Industry Hall. I really love this HDRI. I will give you this link to this HDRI as well in the description on VMO, or in the description on my homepage you will find this link as well. So as you can see, this is already reflecting a little bit. This will really depend on how we set the reflection. Smooth, what smooth does, it really tries to smooth the object, so also the edges. So sometimes you can run into little problems with smooth, but probably it's always a good idea to tick on smooth. If you run into any problems, maybe with glass and stuff like that, try to uncheck smooth. This might help a little bit. Then in the diffuse channel, as you might have guessed, you can add the color that you like. We could also change this here now to a green color. As you can see, this updates instantly here in the live viewer. I think I will just keep it red. Specular layer, as you can see, this is set to black. So when this is set to black, this is doing absolutely nothing. And we could also set this to white. We could also set this to green, something like that. As you can see now, we get a little bit of a greenish reflection right here. The specular layer probably can always be ticked off. Also, if you're working with metal materials, you probably need the specular layer. So the index is probably the IOR channel. So right now it's set to an IOR of 1.3. 1.33 would be something like water. I can't really type. This is because I did disable my numpad. Okay, so 1.33 would be now something like water from IOR like. If you would set this here to 1.6, this would be something like 1.6, something like water. And if you would set this something to, I don't know, something like 6, something between 6 and 8, you can see this becomes really 8 is, by the way, the highest you can go. So 8 is like really metal already. So as you can see, this is really reflecting a lot of stuff, and you almost can't see that the cube is red anymore. So let's say you want to create some red metal. What you gonna do? Because the diffuse channel is not really working. So what I would recommend in this case is just simply go down here, 15% black, something between 10 and 15%. Okay, and then we just simply add, because with metal, as you just saw, really lose a lot of color, and in this case you really need the specular layer to add the color again. So if we set this here to red, you can see now it's becoming a nice red metal color. Okay, so this is what I would use the specular channel mainly basically for. Okay, so let's set this back to black, and let's set back the index to something like 1.6, and let's grab a diffuse color again, something like red. Okay. Then we have the roughness channel. What the roughness channel does is it defines the glossiness of the object. So right now it's set to 0. So if we up this here a little bit, what's going on here? Something isn't right, I think. Yes, okay, now it should be working. We should really set the specular to absolutely 0. So as you can see, also here in the preview, takes now a little bit to load probably. Okay, here we go. So as you can see here, it's already becoming less glossy, and if I change this back, it should become more and more glossy. As you can see now, it picks up way more. Also down here you can see it. And if I pull this down to 0, you can see now it's absolutely 100% reflective. So this is basically what the roughness does. You can also see it here in the live preview. Okay, film whiz. To be honest, what is film whiz again? What was this? There was something. I didn't use it yet, but what always helps is to just simply pop up the manual, as you might have guessed. So film whiz, this controls the thickness of an optical thin film on the material. This is useful in creating a rainbow or oil slick effects. Okay. And then we also have the film index, which is the next here. This controls the index of refraction of the thin film. Okay, so if we don't use film whiz, we probably also don't need to use film index. Okay, so let's go to the more interesting stuff for us, or let's say, well, it's not really less interesting, but it's probably stuff that we won't use so often. So let's just simply jump to the bump. If we wanna add a bump, we can do this. Probably if you want to use a texture, you always have to click right here, as you might have guessed, and then just go to Cinema for the Octane. You will also have a folder right here. And if you want to load an image, please always use this here, image texture. This would be really important. And I will try to explain almost all of those stuff that you have here as well. So you get to know the stuff a little bit better. Okay, so here we have the image texture. Then we just simply click on it, and now we can load an image. And let me just load. Let me go to my personal stuff. Curse Studio. There we have my logo. Let's check my logo, and as you can see, this is already working. I think Ahmed already changed this before. You need to make sure that the power here controls how much bump you will have. So if you set this here to 0, you will see all the bump is gone here on the cube. And I think I should, Jesus, where I'm going. Okay. I think I definitely should pull up the light here a little bit. Maybe there's something like 3. Bada boom, bada bam. Okay. And as you can see, all the, maybe I should move here. Yes. Where will I get the most lightning on my cube? Probably around here. Okay, so you really can see this stuff. So as you can see nothing. Then this is because the power is set to 0. So if you want to have more bump, let's just simply set this to 0.5 right here. So as you can see, my Curse Studio logo already comes in a little bit. And if we set this to 1, we have now full bump. So more bump would probably will probably not work. Okay, so as you can see, here is my bump logo. Okay, perfect. So this was the bump channel. This UV transform and projection, I will explain this a little bit later. What else do we have? Here we have the normal channel. Let's read the normal channel right here. Normal smooth is a boolean. Well, what? No. Bump normal. Both the bump and normal channel can load images to control the amount of bump mapping and normal mapping, respectively. The bump channel should be set to float image to load a bump map. The normal channel should be set to image data type to load a full color normal map. Okay, so if you don't know what a normal map is, just simply Google it. You will probably find a lot of really colorful pictures. Yeah, the difference between bump and normal map, there isn't really much of a difference, even though there is a little bit. So if you don't know the difference, I don't want to explain really everything because this will just simply take ages. And I think I also explained this in one of my tutorials. I think in my exterior tutorial or something like that. I think I explained it there. But anyway, okay, so here you can load a normal map. Opacity. Okay, opacity is really cool. Let's copy the channel from the bump channel and clear the bump. I don't want to use the bump anymore. And it seems like I have to reload this now. So the bump should be gone now. Okay, perfect. Now we just simply copy this into the paste channel. In the opacity channel. And I think we also need the same thing here in the diffuse channel. So let's copy this once again, paste it in here. And now we'll try to get an alpha. Okay. Let's click here on invert. And as you can see, now we have a wonderful alpha channel. As you can see, everything is gone, but not the font. If you change the power, you will see the cube comes back to us more and more. If we set this to 0, the cube will be completely visible. If you set this to 1, we will only see the Curse Studio logo. Okay, perfect. So this is the opacity channel, and the index I already explained. This is like this is the IOR channel, if you want to name it like that. Okay, then let's switch maybe to the specular channel. There we have a little bit more or some different channels. And first of all, I don't know if this has any impact. I will just clear this here in the diffuse channel, and also anywhere else I have a map. No. Okay, let's just go to specular. So let's check the index. Should still be 1.6. Okay, so this is 1.6 glass here right now, as you can see. Okay, let's check the reflection. Okay, everything is turned off. Perfect. So we could also make some kind of, if we change here the roughness channel, we could make some kind of bathroom, let's call it bathroom glass, you know, a little bit of this, what is it called again? This special type of glass, frosted glass. We could make something like frosted glass if you play here around a little bit with the roughness. So 0.05, you can see that the glass becomes a little bit more blurry. So this would be more kind of frosted glass, like I said. So you can also make really, really cool stuff here in a speculator. You can probably make everything that you could do in V-Ray as well. I just wanted to show you this quickly, what you can do if you play around a little bit with the roughness channel. But anyway, I will explain the other channels here. So here we have the dispersion. Dispersion will definitely help when it comes to diamonds and stuff like that. I think an HDRI is probably not the best way to showcase this dispersion effect. Well, just let me Google this quickly. So I just simply Googled here for dispersion effect diamond, and as you can see, this probably describes it maybe the best. It looks rainbow lights by the prism effect. So the dispersion adds definitely this really this rainbow color to your diamonds. And also, as you can see here on the picture, the dispersion will definitely help to enhance your diamond to get these rainbow colors when the rays hit into the diamond. You always need to create a perfect diamond, of course. So this can work probably. So if you don't know how to cut a perfect diamond, please watch. Well, it's not. I think I made a tutorial about a diamond, but I did post a tutorial from somewhere else where you can see how to create a perfect diamond, or at least a really, really good diamond. Because you really need a good diamond so that the light really gets into the object like in the real world. If it doesn't work like that in 3D, then you definitely will have a problem. So all the stuff that you want to make realistic probably has to work the same way in 3D like in the real world. So you definitely have to make a perfect diamond cut. Okay, so this is where you can definitely use this dispersion coefficient. As you can see, this already picks up this rainbow color here a little bit. If I change this, let's change this to the max. Maybe we can see this here a little bit. Yes, we can. Here, maybe this is just the HDRI, but I think it's not. Okay, I think I have just go closer here again. Okay, so it already picks up a little bit of this rainbowish color, as you can see here. So this is what you can use the dispersion channel for. Then we have the transmission. The transmission is, I think you can add here also a little bit of glass color. So let's just simply set the transmission here to red, and we will have red glass, as you can see. And we could also change this to any color that we like. Of course, let's make it orange. Now we have orange glass. Let's make it green. Now we have green glass. Okay, so this is the transmission. And then we have the really, really nice and incredible medium slot. And the medium slot is basically for our SSS materials and stuff like that. So absorption medium, as you can see, there are only fitting 2 medium materials, so there is nothing. You definitely have to load a texture here. So you go to Cinema 4D Octane, and you only have 2 materials that are called medium at the end. And this is the absorption medium, and this is also the scattering medium. So if we open this up again, where is the... Here we go. So here you have also a nice preview image. Absorption. Well, the absorption is, if we would load this here, absorption medium. Let's load this in here. SSS probably always works the best if you only have one light in the scene and basically not an HDRI. So let's just simply delete this quickly. Let me pull up a scene here so you can see this a little bit better. And maybe let me also get a different object, maybe. I don't really like, I think a cube is probably not the best to showcase this. So let me just find a better object. Always nice is the site of the Stanford University graphics.stanford.edu /data/3D scan rep. So you can really download here, I think, a lot of really, really high poly models. As you can see here, you probably have seen this dragon here before in some preview videos. So this dragon is really, really famous. And oh, this looks really, really cool. Lucy. Okay, I shouldn't really watch this too much. I should just simply download it and then just pull it in my scene. Jesus Christ. 150, okay. Okay, this is really a scan. Number of scans, 47. Total size of scans, 160 million triangles. 58 million points. Okay, let's see how Octane will handle this. We'll just finish the download and press on pause in the meanwhile. Okay, alright, so the download just finished. Let's see this Lucy scale. Jesus Christ, okay. I don't know if you can really work with that stuff anyway. I don't think so. These are all SD files. Okay, we definitely can't work with this. So we'll just download, I think here, the rabbit. Let's just go for the rabbit. This should be fairly quickly. Yes. Alright, so let's give me the bunny. Bunny. Thanks. Okay. Let's just pull it on a desktop. And here we go. Data reconstruction. What is that? Oh, Jesus. This doesn't look too good. What am I doing today? Am I always downloading the wrong files or what? Invent and remember this model. See, believe it or not, we also have a 3D scan of the bunny. Jesus. If you want to fly around the bunny but don't need the model, try scan view or client server, blah blah blah. Light field correct, blah 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 blah. Okay. Give me the bunny. Download PLI, download a view for you. Jesus. I think I have to pause the video and find the bunny again. Okay, now I finally got it, I think. At least I hope so. Let's import it with centimeters. Okay. Okay, this simply gives us a new scene. Well, doesn't really matter. Let's create a new plane. Okay, this bunny is really, really small, which is absolutely okay for us, I think. Well, we can scale it a little bit. Yes, something like that, maybe a little bit bigger. That's a real big bunny, but anyway. Okay, let's create a light. Create light, area light. So this is how you create also an Octane light. All you have to do now is create an Octane light tag. So cinema for the Octane tag, Octane light tag, and just pull it on here. And then we simply will move this here backwards and spin this around for 90 degrees, because the light will always shine in the Z direction. So here where you have this blue streak, let's pull this up a little bit. As you can see here where you have the blue streak, also in this direction the light will point. So let's pull this a little bit more up, something like this, and let's make it a little bit smaller, something like this. Okay, so the light really directly shines on our bunny. Let's maybe make it a little bit smaller here as well, and also here. Okay, I think this is good enough. Maybe a little bit closer. Okay. So as you can see already here in the live preview, that the light comes here from this direction. And what we want to do now is we want to delete the standard material that comes with this OBJ. Create shader cinema for the Octane material. Then we just simply pull this material on our bunny. And by the way, if you always want to have an update, as you can see when I move this bunny here, here happens absolutely nothing. So if you want to have an directly update, just simply do a right click, go to cinema for the Octane tags and go to object tags. Just put an object tag on it and set the mesh number to a number that is not 0. And now if we move this around, as you can see, it's already working, but it's also showing me a second bunny. Let me just reload this. Now it should work. Yes. Okay, perfect. So just simply reload the scene once, and by then you will see everything that happens with the bunny in the scene. As you can see, also the light is not visible. I mean, it's visible here on the ground, but this area light is not really visible. If you want to change this, just simply go to the light tag, and here in the opacity you can change this to 1 if you want to have a visible light in the scene. If not, just simply set it back to 0. We could also change the light color. You can do this here in the temperature. If this goes with the Kelvin's color, so if we set this to 500, this becomes really, really red. If we set this to something like 2000, probably orange. If we set this to something like 3500, probably yellow. And if we set this here to something like 5500, white. And if we set this here to a higher value, something like 8000, blue. And then really, really high science fiction blue, and so on and so on. Well, science fiction blue, that's just, I don't know. Just came to my mind, whatever. So we'll just leave this here for now at 5500. Power, as you might have guessed, also changes the power of the light. So we'll just simply leave this here at, let's maybe change it to maybe 50. 50 might be okay for now. We can change this later on anyway. And if you have wondered if you can load maybe IES files in inside of Octane, yes you can. Just simply delete here the float texture, go to clear, then go to cinema for the Octane image texture, and in the image texture then just simply load your IIS file, and you will see this will work like a charm. Okay, as you can see, this is also new, I think, inside inside of Octane, inside of the Octane plugin, is the visibility. So you can also change around now the camera visibility and shadow visibility that you normally can only do with the Cinema 4D compositing tag or display tag. I don't know. I think it's the compositing tag. Let's just check this quickly. Yes, with the compositing tag. So you can now also do this here inside the light and so on, camera visibility, shadow visibility, and so on, which is really, really cool, I think. Okay, so let's jump into our material and let's maybe also create another material for the ground. I will just simply make this diffuse black. Let's maybe make it glossy. Looks a little bit better. Okay, and let's just simply pull this on our plane. And I should also give this here a mesh tag, so we can see every update instantly. Object tag, let me just simply change this here to 2. Okay, and it's already black. I think I will reload the scene anyway. Okay. All right. The next thing we want to do is we want to align the bunny a little bit better to the ground. Something like that. Okay, now it's in the plane, which doesn't look too good. Okay, something like that. Perfect. Now we jump in our material, go to set this here to specular. As you can see, our bunny is now a glass bunny. Now we go to medium, go to Cinema 4D Octane and go to absorption medium. And this will add a nice SSS effect. I think first of all I will add this, I will set the power here to 100. Back again. Of the light, so we can maybe 200, so we can see this a little bit better. Okay, all right. And now I will change in my settings. I will change my render settings. So just simply click here on this little wheel, and will change from direct lighting to path tracing in this case. I could also change here in the direct lighting the specular depth and also the diffuse depth and so on. But I just really want to make this quickly right now, so just simply change here to path tracing. And we can also tick here on keep environment or not. In this case, I don't want to keep the environment. I really want to have the background black. And this might be a little bit, I think I will just set this here to diffuse, because otherwise it just picks up too much color. Let's just pull up the roughness. Okay, it wouldn't really help. Okay, let's change the specular a little bit. Normally I wouldn't do that, but let's change the specular a little bit. Okay, perfect. So here we have our bunny. And now we can also change this to a different color, to maybe something like, let's make it some kind of orange. Something like that. Okay. So here we have our nice bunny. And now we go to the medium channel where we have the absorption medium. And now if you change the scale, you will see this will definitely have an impact on how the light goes through our object. So if you set this here to maybe something like, let me first of all, okay, first of all we also have to set the float here maybe to 1. And now we can change the scale to 1. Now let's set it to 10. As you can see, this really changes a lot how the light goes through the object. Now let's set this to something like 20. And let's set it to something like 100. As you can see here on the ears, where the geometry is really smaller, we still get a little bit of light through, but here it gets completely black, where we have a lot of geometry. And let's just pull the light a little bit more up. Let's maybe set it to something like 400. Okay, maybe even more. Let's set it to 1000. Okay, doesn't really have too much impact anymore. Let's change this back to 50 here. I'll change it back to 40. And as you can see, this is really a nice SSS effect. Now we can also change, let's change this to 10 maybe. Now we can also change the roughness a little bit here to something like 0.15. Maybe this shows the SSS effect even a little bit better. Let's set this to 20. This looks really, really cool, I think. It's a really, really cool shot. Okay, so this is how you can use an SSS material, and yeah, I think that's it. So you can definitely also make plastic stuff like that with the roughness and so on. And yeah, you can definitely play around a lot here with the SSS material right here, and also with the transmission color and so on. So this is really some fun stuff. So just thought I'll show you that as well. I think there is still one channel that I didn't really show you, and I will just simply leave the bunny right here because I think it looks really cool. But anyway, let's just drop in a sphere and let's scale the sphere down. Maybe to something like, let's pull the sphere a little bit up and also give it an object tag. Render perfect, no. Object tag, and let's set this here to 3 maybe. Okay, so now we have here our sphere, and let's maybe pull the sphere right here in front of the bunny. Let me go back here a little bit. And let's make the sphere a little bit smaller. Scale this down. If you ever wondered how you can emit light with this with an object inside of Cinema 4D Octane renderer, you just simply go to Create Shader, Cinema 4D Octane material, and in the diffuse channel you have also the emission channel. And I think this is only available in the diffuse channel. So if you go to glossy, there isn't an emission channel, and if you go to specular, there isn't also an emission channel. So let's just simply go to the diffuse emission and texture Cinema 4D Octane, and as you can see, there is, I think, only 2 emissions that you can use. I think everything else is locked anyway, so if you try to load an absorption medium right here, it won't let us, so we can't load anything else here. Also, if we try to load a marble or whatever, this isn't really working. So we just simply click on black body emission. And this black body emission is simply a light material. And do I have this applied to the sphere already? Nope. So let's apply this to the sphere. And as you can see, this is already working. This is already emitting light. So we can also change the temperature here, like I showed you before. So if we set this here to the lowest value possible, so this would be 500, absolutely red, as you can see. And if we pull this here to 3500, it will give us more of an orange color. And if we pull this here to 55 white light, and if we go to 9000, some kind of bluish light. And we can also change the power here, and we can also load an IIS file if we want to, distribution. Let's just simply click on clear here, Cinema 4D Octane image texture, and then load our IIS file. So this is working as well. And let's change the power down maybe to something like 10. And I think I should also give the sphere a little bit more segments, maybe something like 50. Yes, okay, it looks better. Okay, next thing I want to show you is the camera object. So let's go to camera, and let's go to Cinema 4D Octane tags, Octane camera tag. And here we can choose between 2 different camera types. So scene lens, if we jump into the camera, you can see it doesn't change much. If we change this to panoramic, it will definitely change a lot. So this is panoramic camera, as you might have guessed. So this is pretty much self-explaining. Here we now also have, I think, a full working camera motion blur. So if we tick on motion blur, and then we can play around with the shutter. So let's maybe set the shutter to something like 0.75. And now if we move around the camera, well, I think I have to render out an animation here so we can see this a little bit better. But anyway, so I think a full camera motion blur is now also available, which is really, really cool. But anyway, let's open up the scene lens. Aperture, we can probably create a nice TOF with that. So let's just simply let's go a little bit closer to the bunny, and let's just try to get the sphere out of focus and get our bunny into focus. As you can see, this is already working pretty good. And let me change also caustic blur here to 1. This might save us some render time. Sorry. And yeah, so you can also use this here, pick focus. It's right up here, so you can pick, if you click this on, you can click what you want to have in focus. So if I click here on the sphere will become in focus, and we'll try to get the bunny out of focus. And if I pick the bunny, the sphere will go out of focus and the bunny will be in focus. So this is really, really cool, this pick focus thing right here. Can become really, really useful. You also have here pick material. So if you don't wanna, if you have, I don't know, maybe a lot of materials and you don't have layered them or anything like that, you can just simply go here, pick material, then just simply click on my bunny, and as you can see already, the material is picked, which is also pretty nice. Okay, next thing I want to explain. Okay, let's jump back to the camera, sorry. Stereo, so if you want to render stereoscopic, so like if you have seen a recently S3D movie in cinema, you probably know what stereoscopic is. So just simply click on that, and as you can see now we're in stereoscopic mode. To be honest, I didn't really work much with stereoscopic. This is not really my I don't really have much a plan about it. If you render this out and look at this with a 3D with 3D glasses, if this would already work, I have absolutely no clue. Probably it would, but really absolutely no problem. And there you can see you can also control the left filter and the right filter. You can control the colors for this 3D effect, and also the stereo distance. So as you can see, you can really pull this up and stuff like that. But as I said, I really have not too much clue about that. Focal depth will be controlled if you use this pick focus. So as you can see, if we use pick focus, watch here the focal depth. I will click now on the sphere, and as you can see, the focal depth now changes automatically. And if I click now on the bunny, the focal depth changes. And here you can also tick on autofocus on or off. I would probably use autofocus. Near clip depth, I think, is almost self-explaining, to be honest. Distortion. What was distortion again? What was distortion? Good question. Let's ask the manual. What was distortion? Plug-in features. Camera imager settings. Yoo-hoo. Okay, exposure, vignetting, exposure, f-stop, ISO, yeah, blah. Oh, we need scene lens, sorry for that. Camera imager settings, no. Oh, okay, let's just simply go. Okay, it doesn't really find it. Okay, let's just go camera. No. Camera. Is this the only thing? No. Octane camera tag. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Scene lens. Focal depth. Near. Similar to camera. Near clip depth. Okay. Camera image and post processing. Okay. I don't know what the distortion does right now. Aperture edge is definitely how your depth of field looks. So just simply Google depth of field aperture edge. And this will definitely give you a quick overview what aperture edge does. Orthographic rendering, what was that again? I think it just simply gives you a different camera. Orthographic, I think this is something for construction and things like that. This will definitely help there. I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I hope this doesn't really hurt anyone. Okay, what we also could do is enable the camera imager, so we will really use all the nice features of the camera. So if we enable this, we have now control over the exposure, the f-stop, the ISO. The f-stop will also influence our depth of field. So if you set this lower to 1, this will also definitely have an impact on our lighting, of course, but it will also have an impact on our depth of field. So as lower the f-stop, the stronger the depth of field will be, definitely. We can also change around the ISO, so if anything is too dark in the scene, we always have two options, pull up the light or pull up the ISO. I will always try, first of all, go with the lightning, and if it doesn't really help, I would pull up the ISO a little bit. So as you can see, if I pull this up to 200, it just simply gets brighter, like in a normal camera. If you ever have used a DSLR camera or something similar, you definitely know what an ISO does. So let's pull this up to 600, so now we are definitely way too bright. Okay, then we can also change the gamma if you want to, and here in the response we can choose between a lot of nice curves. Did they add any curves? No, I think they didn't. I think they're still the normal curves. So as you can see, right now it's Aquacolor Futura 100 CD. So you can already try to pick curves inside of Octane if you want to. I would probably do this in post work. So as you can see, if I go through all those stuff, this image here changes. So let's do it a little bit more. You can see this applying different curves to our image, as you can see. So just simply go through them. Maybe you like one. I already did use it, so it's not like useless. So it's really a cool feature, I think. But it really depends on if you want to use it or not. Okay, so we'll just simply leave this one here, I think F10025 CD. I think there are some curves that give you an almost linear output, and you also have here a linear thing that you can use if you don't want to use any curves or stuff like that. And we can also control the vignetting. So let's pull up the vignetting to 1. As you can see, we get this nice vignetting effect here. And let's pull this down to 0. You will see all the vignetting is gone probably. Let's pull this up, let's pull this down. I will just leave this, I think I will pull this to 1. Normally I would set this to 0 and add my vignetting in post work, but since I will only work here in Cinema 4D, we'll just simply pull it up to 1 right now. We can also change the saturation if we want to. As you can see, we can make this black and white if we want to. Let's set this to 1 here. Hot pixel removal. This I would definitely recommend to leave this at 1. If you're rendering an image, you will definitely, let's say if you're rendering an image that takes a little bit longer, you can play around with this value, and you will see if you pull hot pixel removal to 1, this will definitely help to get rid of some hot pixels, and this will save you some rendering time definitely. Minimum display samples, I'm not sure what that does right now, to be honest. And this ring is ticked on. Okay, white balance is set to white, which is pretty good. We don't want to use, but if you want to use a different white balance, like something like, I don't know, let's say maybe blue, something like that maybe. Then you can see we can also use a different white balance, but I would probably go with white anyway. Then we still have another thing, we have the post-processing. Post-processing, you can add a lot of nice post-work stuff, as you might have guessed. So let's just simply click on, and then we can add a little bit of bloom, as you can see. Let's pull this really up. Okay, this is a little bit too much, but as you can see, this adds a little bit of diffusion to our image. I would probably also do this in post-work, but you can do this right here inside of Octane. Gives you already a nice preview on how things might look, which is pretty cool. And we can also change here the glare power. So as you can see, we can also get a nice glare here. Looks also pretty cool, I think. And then we can change the glare angle. So let me pull up the glare power so you can see this a little bit better. Then we can also change the glare angle, as you can see here, which also looks pretty cool, I think. But this is really fun stuff. So Octane has really a lot of stuff to play around with, and sometimes really gets you amazed what you can do with a few clicks. So if you really try to set up a scene inside of V-Ray and stuff like that, and just test rendering Octane, you just simply throw everything in and then just apply a few things and try to make it look great, and it's probably happening really fast. So if you want to create something nice and want to have instant results, Octane is definitely the way to go. Then we can also here use the spectral intensity, as you can see, spectral shift, stuff like that. So really cool disco stuff right there. Okay, seems like Octane makes me a little bit too happy. Sorry for that. I think I drank something like 3 energy drinks before, and I think this wasn't the best idea to do this before recording a tutorial. But anyway. Okay, so this was, I think, the camera tag. Any more tags that I might need to explain? The daylight tag, well, the daylight tag is automatically applied to the daylight system. Might just simply delete everything here now in the scene. Oh no, maybe let's leave the bunny, let's delete the sphere, and let's delete the light here in the background. And as you can see, we have definitely some default light here going on, but doesn't really matter. Let's go to objects, daylight, and this will add automatically the daylight system. And here we have the daylight tag that we could also add right here, daylight tag. And we also have here the sun expression tag. And to enable this, we need to enable this right here in the basic, enable. So this is working. We could also delete this would also not hurt. So we can just simply delete this and then just reload this scene. And I think, what do I have to do now? First of all, I have to, let's set the port to 2. And now I think I have to control the sun myself in the scene, which is not really helpful. So I shouldn't, yeah. Okay, the sun is really low at the moment. So let's set this a little bit higher. And let's also change the rotation. Yes. So as you can see, now we can control it on our own, the sunlight, and the rotation has an impact, as you can see right here. So if it's pointing in this direction, it's not doing much. And here we get some nice sun lightning. Okay. Now we can just simply change the north offset. So we can change from where the camera comes from. As you can see, we still have some post-work enabled on the camera, which looks pretty good. Well, because where you have this those hotspots, like you would see on a car and stuff like that, so high reflective stuff where the sun hits, really bright sun hits the metal, you would definitely also get this glare effect right there. Probably not so much, but looks pretty realistic, I think. So as you can see, we can also change here the sun around, sun size. Let me move the camera a little bit. Let me show you what sun size does. Here you can see the shadow, pretty good, I think. If I set the sun size now to a really high value, like something like 30, you will see that the shadows become absolutely soft, mega soft. So right here, the shadows are now really soft. I don't know how good you can see that right here. Maybe this is a bad example. Okay, let's just move it like that. And let me go back to 20. And then let me go back to 10. And then let me go back to 0. And as you can see, this definitely has a lot of impact. As you can see here on this edge, and also on this edge, as you can see, now we have some really nice hard shadows, which is probably here for such a kind of exterior shot, probably the best. If I set this back to 30, you will see the shadows become absolutely soft. So there isn't really much of a hard shadow anymore. And this also takes a little bit longer to clear up for Octane. But anyway, this is how you can use the sun size. So if you want to have softer shadows, just simply pull up the sun size. We can also change the sky color if we want to. So we can change this to a little bit lighter sky. As you can see, this also is affecting our reflection as well. And we can also change the sun color to maybe something like a brighter sun, something like that maybe. And this will also have a nice impact on our image. And let me delete this quickly and let me show you what you can do with the sun tag that I just deleted. So let me enable this tag. We can now just simply type in a time right here. It's now really early. But anyway, so we just set this to 10 o'clock, to 10 o'clock, maybe let's set it to 16, no, let's maybe set it to 14, okay. As you can see now, the sun comes from this direction somewhere. And we can also change the date. So let's change this to something like, I don't know, July, right here. And if it doesn't update, just simply disable this and click on enable again. And then it definitely should update. And then we can also change the latitude and the longitude and so on and so on. So yeah, this is how you use the expression. If you don't want to move the sun around on your own, you can just simply leave the sun expression tag right here. And like I said, if anything doesn't update, just simply click on enable and disable, and it should update instantly. Okay, so this was the daylight tag. Another thing that I want to show you, yeah, you also have an live database. So if you might search for a material, a basic material, you can always look at the live database and see if you find maybe material that you like or something that you want to recreate, and you just want to see how this is built, like here liquids, skin, vegetation and so on. So you can definitely look up some materials right here and see how they are built inside of Octane, and then just simply try to recreate something similar, which can also come in really, really handy. Okay, here you just have the normal materials. Another material that I want to show you is the mix material. I already showed this in my Ferrari tutorial, but anyway, this is like something like a two-sided material, or you can just simply mix two materials together if you want to, like a car paint material, or you can also use it as a two-sided material for vegetations, plants, and so on and so on. Okay. Anything else that I want to show you? Texture environment, Octane camera, HDRI environment, daylight. If you want to use a texture environment, you can do that as well right here. Octane camera, you can, this will just simply, I think this will just simply create an Octane camera with a camera with the tag already on it. Okay. Okay. Anything else? I think I will definitely now not explain everything here, because this will definitely take too long. If you want to mix two, I think this one I will explain quickly. If you want to mix two materials together, like you say, you want to use a basic red background and you want to have your logo on it, just simply use a mix texture, jump in there. Texture 2, we can use a red color, and texture 1, as you can see, amount, this is mixing here, and texture 1 we can just simply use an image texture. And let's take the Crest Studio logo again, and then we can just simply mix those two together, as you can see. So we can just simply use this also here as a mix material. If you wanna have only, how would I do that? I'm just thinking about something right now. Okay, let me clear this. If you wanna have this. Okay, wait a second. I'm just thinking about something. Where was I? I did just pause the video. I think I wanted to show this this mix texture. I think I just have to delete this mix texture, and then we can just simply, let's clear this here. We can also use this amount here as a texture channel, and let's just simply use an image texture instead of this here. And let's go to personal. Yes, and then curse and load my logo. And then we just simply go to RGB spectrum, change this to a color, And this should already work, I think. Yes. If I click here now on invert. Oh, Jesus, not working? Why not working? I think I did something wrong here, but I'm not 100% sure what I did wrong. I think I have to play around with it now. No, I don't want to play around with it right now. Let's just simply try it here, image texture, and load it in. Alright, now it's black, now it's working, I think. And let me just simply delete this here. Okay, and this way we just simply change it back to a normal mix texture, where we can mix channel 1 and channel 2 together, just like in a fusion channel. So if I click here on texture, image texture, this should work, I think. Yes. Okay, alright, perfect. Okay, so this is how you can use the mix texture for different things. Like the fusion channel, the fusion channel inside of Cinema 4D. So if we create a normal material, color, texture, we can use here a fusion, and then here we could also mix different channels together, base channel, blend channel, and we can also use a mask channel. So this is how you can basically use the mix texture. I think this was important to show this one. Everything else I think you really should check out on your own. Like the dirt, you can also add like a V-Ray dirt. Inside of Octane you can also add a dirt. It's just called dirt here, not Octane dirt or something like that. And here you also have the scattering medium, which will also give you some nice SSS effects. You probably have also to play around with that one. And I think the last thing that I want to show you is the new protection thing inside of Cinema 4D in the plugin, which is really, really cool. So I think I have to delete my nice bunny now and create here a cube, and let's scale this cube down. And let me also put an, let me make this editable. Let me put an object tag on it. Let me set this to mesh 4. And also let me get rid of the DOF. We don't need any DOF right now. Okay. And let's just simply pull this material, or maybe just for the sake of it, let's create a new image texture, and let's just load here to my cursed logo, and let's pull it on the cube. And as you can see, we can also add a different protection right here. So we can set this here to cubic. As you can see, here it changes, but here it changed nothing. Even thought the update mesh and so on is activated, so it's not really updating. So we always would need to reload the scene, and then if we change anything here under protection, we would also have to reload this. So let's change this back to UV mapping. And if we go here into the image texture, we can now use the nice projection feature inside of Octane. So we can also see it right here in the live viewer. So let's just simply click on projection, and let's open this up. And here we can change UV. We can also change this here now to box. I think I have to do, before I do this, I think I have to do a UV transform before I do anything. Is it not too late for that? I think so. Okay, no. Let's set this here to cylindrical perspective. So as you can see, perspective should also working. Yes. Here you can see perspective. Then spherical. So we can change here the R value. And you can see it instant in the viewport what's happening with your texture. So the placement gets a lot easier of the texture because you can instantly see what's going on in the scene. Let's change this to box again. And I think here I will just simply scale this down. Where is it? Okay, now it's really, really small. Here we go. Let's scale this a little bit more up. And then we can rotate it. till we find something that we like. So this is a really, really cool feature. I would definitely recommend to play around with that as well, because this can really save you some time with aligning your textures and stuff like that. So this is really, really cool. And I just thought I'd show you this quickly as well. Okay, so this was I think this was the basic Octane tutorial for now. I don't know how much I really have to tell you. Did I forget anything? Let me just think. Anything that could be really, really important, something that would be really, really interesting for you. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Octane IIS light. Okay, you also can load now an IIS light. Okay, here you have the image texture already. So you just have to load here the IIS file. Okay, but I already explained that you can do that. Didn't know that you can create a light like that. Okay. Anything else? No, I don't think so. The manual will also help you, like it helped me. I still don't know everything. I mean, I know the things that I need for my daily work, or for my projects, or for my tutorials, or whatever. I also have some premium tutorials online, by the way, for V-Ray and for Octane as well, on my homepage, cursestudio.com. So you can check them out there as well as a lot of other free tutorials as well for Octane and as well for V-Ray. Like I said, you also need to get used to my Octane tutorials. There will definitely be a lot more, and I would definitely also recommend that you maybe get the plugin and also the standalone version. It's really, really worth it. I also know that a lot of studios are working with Octane right now. They all seem to be really, really happy about the Octane stuff. As far as I know, I think Seesucht in Germany is working right now, I think, with Octane. Also Ike Sponsor, I think one of the most famous Cinema 4D users in Germany are also using Octane a lot lately. So also a lot of big studios or bigger studios are definitely jumping the Octane bandwagon. So I think it wouldn't be really a bad idea to stick with Octane right now, because it's really, really a great render engine. It's really, really fast, and also the live viewer is a lot of fun. And as you have seen before with the bunny and stuff like that, you can really, really make instant, really, really nice stuff. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this basic tutorial, and I hope that it really helped you maybe figuring out some stuff, how you can work with Octane inside of Cinema 4D. Okay, so I think I will end the tutorial right here. Have a nice day, and if you want to check out more stuff, please check my website, cursestudio.com. Okay, so have a nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.